Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is James DeMatteis, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Crank it to 11. All right, kids. Welcome.
This many.
Welcome back to another episode of the Capes and Lunatics. Savor it now, kids, because this will be the last one you hear Lil Fun for like a month. Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, my quiet little boy from New Jersey. It is
Charlie, the Professor Essa.
And my happy-go-lucky little ray of sunshine from Florida. It is.
Hey y'all, it's a little Hellfire.
You have to change the intro when you come back.
Just check it for me, please.
That cosmic threat from parts unknown.
What? Huh? Who's from parts unknown?
Lilith. I want to change her intro. And
She's... her parts are unknown by choice. Thank you very much.
She's a tumbleweed. She's always in one place or another. All right, so we got two stories to cover tonight, kids. Which one should we start with?
I read neither, so you guys pick.
I mean,
I will speak effusively on both. Would you tell me who everyone is?
I mean, okay, let's start. We'll start with The Boys cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan for season 4. I don't believe they've said who he is yet, so yeah, there's not a lot there, but I cannot wait.
I mean, I assume he is somebody. Going out on a limb on that one. No, I mean, I assume. Here's the thing: you cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's either going to be a billionaire.
Uncensored Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I know who he is.
Oh boy.
He's there's a character in The Boys. I believe he was called Tin Man, and he was basically an Iron Man pastiche because he was part of the group of non-supers who were sort of like the Avengers. That the seven, basically murdered.
Oh my God, how awesome would that be if he was a Tony Stark cranked up to 11?
Yeah, he's going to be a Tony Stark. He's going to be, but just a super genius, and he's going to be like the guy who probably feels he could take down Homelander. And he's going to be this guy who is like, no, I can make anyone super. Because for what it's worth, now that they know that V is just, available at your local 5 and dime, you're going to say, well, yeah, but what if I just made super suits instead? And so, yes, so mark my words, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I believe the character's name was Tin Man.
Tin Man versus Tin Man v. Homelander, Dawn of Justice.
Yes, I mean, I think it's a possibility, man. I am waiting for.
Why'd you say that name? Shut the F up.
Tech Knight.
Oh, Tech Knight. Oh, yes.
Yeah, is
Tech Knight Rises? Name? Yes.
Because he's Batman's dad, so.
Oh yeah.
It would just make sense.
Oh my God, they could make him their version of like a Thomas Wayne Batman or something. Since DC hasn't done it.
Yeah. I mean, they teased the hero too. He wanted him for season 3 to do that, so that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But that's my prediction. He's going to be like that super genius non-super. He's going to be a non-super soup. He's going to be.
That's what you're talking about. It's not Tin Man, it's Tech Knight.
Tech Knight. Okay. Yeah, it's been a long time since I read.
Yes.
When I read the pastiches of these characters. So yeah. And then it would be very cool to see him as Tech Knight, as this billionaire, probably a Vought executive, but basically working in that, tech-based field of,
But
I don't want to make.
Honestly, I think they would go the Annie January's dad route. So yeah.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Which would
Annie
be
January.
Starlight, yeah. Because
So
we
was Annie
them.
January's dad?
No,
or?
it's different. It's different. I'm just saying that's one way they could go if they want to do something that most people would probably expect because Kripke talked about it previously. But they could go the surprise route and do Starlight's dad. So
Yeah. I mean, I mean that's cool. I mean, the idea of all of these characters, it's all interesting. Actually, my favorite thing at the end of the last season was just them putting Soldier Boy into cold storage, like what's his name, William Burnside's. Just lock him up, put him in cold storage. We'll need him when we need him.
Again, you can pull them out whenever if they want to pull them out. Well,
they can do it.
I personally think they might do the Vought thing though, where he's like the actual original. I don't know.
But the guy in charge?
I think that's the route they might be going. I'm a very well seasoned Kripke fan, so he never really gives the fans what they want, but he always gives them what they need.
That's the secret
to
being a good writer.
He's Mr. Vought. Oh,
I dollars to donuts. I'm almost like pretty sure. Just knowing Kripke and the way.
Just steer into that Tony Stark skid. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh. So you're thinking that they're going to have Jeffrey Dean Morgan take over Vought Enterprises?
No, he's Mr. Vought.
He's Frederick Vought, yeah.
Oh, he's Frederick Vought. Oh, the original Vought. The original scientist. Okay.
Since they did the thing with Soldier Boy, I'm thinking that they're going to take that one step further and make Jeffrey Dean Morgan dead? Nobody's ever truly dead in a comic book show, babes.
Well, I know.
Remember Stormfront. That's all I'm going to say.
He's wearing.
I know, but I'm
saying he's got the secret sauce, baby.
Oh, we do the Iron Man thing. You could have like the chest plate keeping him alive or something.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I would love to see the idea that here's my only problem with Vought still being alive. It's like, well, then why did you leave your poor wife?
It could be a clone. It could be that stupid thing where they teach the clone and the clone carries on.
Or he's Walt Disney. Or he's Walt Disney. He froze himself for a while.
I would love to see Michael. I would love to see him as just a frozen head, and
what is this,
in the little spider legs.
Batman Beyond. He's Mr. Freeze.
Oh god.
Yeah. But they did that with their Walt Disney pastiche too, and he also froze his head, but did it for fun. Oh, he convulsed.
But I just can't wait to see an uncensored Jeffrey Dean Morgan, because I mean, even on Walking Dead, they don't let him mouth off as much as he did in the Walking Dead comic book.
Yeah. I want him to be, honestly, if it was me writing it, he would be Butcher's ex-lover. But that's just me. That's just me and my fanfic. That's just me from the military. I'm just saying, sharing foxholes together. I'm just saying.
I'm there for it.
Put it in his foxhole.
I would love to see Butcher have a love from his past come back, and someone like that who's just as much a BA, just as ready to throw down, and be like, "Oh yeah, how's my little Butcher boy?"
Oh my god! I mean, everyone's expecting him to be a giant a-hole in this show. Watch, they'll bring Jeffrey Dean Morgan in and make him like a priest or something.
It'll be a nice guy. That was what I was thinking. They're gonna make him. I
think it's a Jeffrey Dean Morgan's contract. He doesn't play nice guy.
Oh yeah, he has to be an a-hole.
Oh, you know what they do?
Because John Winchester is the worst.
You know what? Would be funny? You know what would be just perfect for this character? Is you bring him in, and he is again, he's just the sweetest, nicest person you could ever meet. And I said, but people can do, and he's just trying to get people to move forward. But it turns out he's actually like Dr. Manhattan. Like the whole time he's just like, no, I have unlimited power. I just don't use it because, well, that would be, who am I to decide for you
Get this molecule man stand out of here.
I'm just saying, but they make him an Owen Reese, the molecule man kind of guy, but just a nice guy. Not like he got the Vought and he like, oh wow, I have unlimited power.
Oh my God, Lil, at the end of that original Secret Wars series, they were so pandering to Charlie Esther last week. I mean, they had a Molecule Man versus Dr. Octopus fight. I mean, come on.
Wow.
And Molecule Man won because he can control all molecules. We'll get to that when we talk comic books.
See, they made a lifelong fan, which is with that one fight.
Now we know why.
Oh. Well, I mean, honestly, I can talk about all that. And there's in the books I did read this week, there's like, this was a good week for Charlie. Because they know, I guess, I'm the only guy buying comic books still.
Everything's
and they like
up
to
Charlie.
write to me. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan be, just a nice guy, but also omnipotent. I would love to, or even maybe he is Vought, and he like, no, I perfected the Vought drug, but at a certain point he realized that that whole Nazi nonsense. That's it's sort of like what happened was when I became a perfect being, I also increased my intellect, and I suddenly realized, this Nazi stuff, that's stupid. Most humans are stupid, but they're cute, and I think they should all be able to run free. And I don't like all this hierarchical stuff, man. And you know who he is? He's the new head of the cult, since they blew up that one guy's head.
I don't know how they did it in the comic, but I hope they steer into that skid. Make him Tech Knight, but have him be the drunk, like Tony Stark. But he doesn't care. He doesn't give a crap. It's just like, I'm gonna do this. I don't care.
Well, I'm thinking they might do a clone thing since Noir wasn't actually Homelander's clone like in the comics, so the clone plot line is still hanging around out there. So
yeah,
I'm just saying. I think that's where I'm leaning towards.
Here's a theory on Tech Knight.
Is he gonna? All right, inside joke, Lil. Is he gonna be a clone of Soldier, or is he gonna be clone of Soldier Boy's dad or something?
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna do it, but like in a way you don't expect. They're gonna do it.
Yeah, but
Grandpa?
no. So here's a crazy idea. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he gets the Vought drug. He gets that super intellect that makes him able to build all of the Tech Knight stuff, which is very useful for Vought. But he's still technically a superhero because he's got the drug and he's doing all this. And he drinks. He drinks to dumb himself down. Because he's like, do you have any idea? Well, no, but the idea is like, and this is, this idea that, when you have too many thoughts in your head, it's really hard to live. And sometimes, you need to quiet the voices. And alcohol does that well. So that's a good prediction for how Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Tony Stark, Tech Knight might be a character. So I'm really into the idea of him being Tech Knight. You're right, the Vought clone is a good idea because they haven't done a clone. But, we haven't seen cloning technology even tried yet. So I think it's a big jump to say, and also we have perfect clones now. I
think that goes along with the whole V formula naturally, though. I mean, if you're going with that Nazi super, soldier, perfect human formula thing, clones are also there. Because once you find the perfect, you want to make a couple and keep them on ice. So I think
Boys from Brazil and all that, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I get that. The problem is, here's the problem with clones. Is you got to raise a clone from a baby. And so Vought could have cloned himself as a baby. And then he's probably like, that's right about the age of Jeffrey Dean Morgan here. But he also becomes a different human being. Because he's not Vought. Even if he has all of Vaught's memories implanted at his 13th birthday, he's still living a different life than Vought lived.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of options, and this is, and as you say, Lilith, this is what Kripke can do. He won't give the fans what they want, but he'll give them what he needs.
Which is the whole Black Noir thing. I just knew. I was just like, that's going to be the. Oh nope, it's a different joke. Never mind.
By the way, I still say Black Noir is freaking Deadpool. He will be back. You can cut off his head. 2 more will grow in its place.
Hey, well,
no, actually, what I'm really excited for is I get the feeling that cutting off his head basically will heal his head and face and everything else. So he's going to come back and he's going to be like the actor who plays Black Noir that we saw in the flashbacks, but he's not going to be all. Or maybe he'll still be scarred up, but his brain will be fixed. And then he's going to be a merc with a mouth again. I mean, that would be lovely. Because for what it's worth, I do feel that my very old mark my words on that was true, that he is Deadpool, but he is Deadpool as interpreted as a silent character, which means he is constantly in this fantasy world, fourth wall breaking existence, but he doesn't talk. And I remember one of the, was it Fabian Niciez, I think, who... Niciez? I thought it was Niciez. Is it Niciez?
learn by tomorrow.
Oh, why? Are we talking to him tomorrow? I don't know.
Wolf and I are.
Okay, well, I don't know, man. He's one of my favorite writers, and I don't know how to say his name. He's very cool. I like him, but he was, if I'm remembering correctly, he was saying he decided to make this character because he looked like Spider-Man, act like Spider-Man, and be yappy. But he said he could have also gone the Snake Eyes route and just made him a silent character. I've always felt that that's the interpretation that Kripke is going with Black Noir, which is that he's Deadpool, but filtered through Snake Eyes. So all the craziness is still there. You just don't see it because he's not talking. And he just becomes super inscrutable, but he's also doing all these weird little side things that no one understands because he's interacting with a whole other perceived universe. And I do feel proud that I was correct in calling that out, even if no one's going to actually say, yes, I was trying to do that from that, based on that interview where that person said that one thing. But I'm looking forward to Black Noir coming back. They're not going to kill that character. I'm sorry. As Lil said, no one's ever really dead.
There you go. Charlie Esser was right.
He's always right. When have I been wrong?
Why does that sound like you had a gun to your head?
Never mind.
And regardless of what anyone says, I still say the leader is behind everything. And he's not. He thinks he's going to Sakaar. Halfway there, he's going to be like, wait, well, this isn't the way to Sakaar.
The abomination.
Oh, yeah. Well, got to get with his 7 soulmates, man. Which is 8. And you only need 4 more, and they can be the Zodiac Quadrille. An abomination will be Aquarius, of course. Thank you.
Got to put
Maybe
too fine of a
Pisces.
point on it, Phil.
Exclamation point!
Remember the Zodiac Quadrille? Remember the LMD Zodiac Quadrille from the East Coast versus West Coast Avengers? It was just sentient LMDs that were based off of the Zodiac Quadrille.
Deep dive, deep cut.
I'm the only one? Okay.
I remember Zodiac,
Might be a fever dream.
Moon Knight punched in the face, yes.
Yeah, well, Well, I'm just saying Dracula better have his money.
I love the fact that I still will always love the fact that Luke Cage was the only Defender that got paid. That's my favorite thing. He's the most real hero. I still gotta pay my bills over here, bro.
Well, you're gonna be afraid to not pay Luke Cage. I mean, he went after Doctor Doom for money.
For $200?
Not for nothing. He's the only member of the Fantastic Four who knew they were getting paid. Like, literally, like,
tell Peter Parker he's gonna be pissed.
But again, if Peter
He's
Parker
a General Motors pal.
Well, that's what freaking Ben said. But like, had Peter just chilled for a minute, Rita said, "Well, no, actually, I thought maybe we should like have some money. I think that'd be a good thing for everybody to have." Yeah, so you tell you what, Pete, let's tell you what, Spider-Man, let's work this out. Let's Let's figure out. We don't pay people, but yeah, I guess we could probably figure out allowances. Everyone should have money. I mean, we do live in a capitalist society, sir.
I don't even like Reed Richards is so above that though that it's just like it would take Johnny Storm like, yeah, the kid needs spending cash, obviously.
No, hey, look, if you read the What If, it's very clear that had Peter not thrown a hissy fit and stormed out like a teenager, which granted, he would have gotten the money. Like Reed would be like, chill out, Ben. Yes, we're not like a freaking multinational corporation. We're here to do good.
Even though they really technically are, but that's none of my business.
Well, yes.
Well, compared to Peter, they were.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we can give the guy.
You gotta build into the New York skyline. Come on.
We can certainly.
I'm saving my lunch money to keep that ant alive.
Boo.
What ant?
Yeah,
May. Let her rot.
Back in the day, man, she needed her heart pills every other issue, man. Come on.
She was going to see Elizabeth for sure, but they have a second episode. That might have been a deep cut. I mean, I know our patrons are old, but I don't know about the rest of our.
Oh, how dare you call our patrons old?
What the F?
With the exception of maybe Russell.
Yeah, true. All right, yeah, the other story before we run out of time here. Yes, looks like what Warner's Discovery has named their
Well,
Kevin
they're not
Feige.
naming; they're in talks. First of all,
Name names. I know.
And with the way that it's going, I find it interesting if they actually do pick someone. Are we saying these Taiwanese because China says Taiwanese is Taiwan is definitely a part of China? So,
all right. I wasn't familiar either, Charlie. Dan Lin, the executive.
He did the Lego movies.
Well, yeah,
Sherlock Holmes.
Executive term producer.
Wait, which Sherlock Holmes?
The Shadow, the Game of Shadows. Oh, both of them actually, I think.
And it says here
with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law.
Yes.
And also the live action Aladdin, the Lego movie, the
we'll let that one slide. But the Lego movies, I think that's probably why he's in the main talks. And also the Sherlock Holmes movies, both of them did pretty good for what they were at the time.
They did fantastic. So we know the guy can do
he's just a producer.
characters.
So that's a thing. Like there's a producer, and then there's
a
connector.
and of course. Well, a producer is an
it's
artist.
It's just a money man. Like, let's just be real.
No, it is not. Lilith, how dare you?
Okay.
How freaking dare you?
Okay.
A producer is an artist whose medium
is money.
Is other artists. No.
Is money.
Other artists. Okay. That is a type of producer, yes. That's called an executive producer.
All producers throw in money. I don't care if you're a line producer, second producer. You're throwing in money.
Actually, that's not. A producer at this level, like Kevin Feige, is more closely associated with a showrunner. Except they're running the whole show. And so when you're at that basically what they're trying to hire is someone to be a person who can say, okay, here are the artists you need. These artists, put them on these projects and let them paint. And that is what
That's funny because as somebody that was a production assistant and was very interested in moving up the line, the actual primary duties of an executive producer is securing funds for the production. That's their primary. And then they hire staff. And they outline the working schedule. That's literally their duties.
Which is literally what I said that an executive producer does. The head of a production group does something a lot more artistic. And, look, Lilith, and it's fine if I know you worked in the trenches or whatever. I know that when I put together films, that was what I did. I looked for good talent. I looked for and yes, money is always an issue, but you get the people you can get, and you get the work that you can produce, and then you produce it. And I'm not saying this guy is that. I'm saying that if he's going to be a Kevin Feige, that is literally Kevin Feige's job. Kevin Feige's job as an artist, as a producer, is literally putting together all the pieces that build the story. And if you think that they're interchangeable, then you're a fucking Roy Disney. Oh, sorry. You're a fucking Roy Disney. You are someone who doesn't understand that it's not that parts aren't interchangeable. Even if they look similar, they don't always fit. And you need to find the right people for the right job to make the right films. And I think that is what Kevin Feige has done masterfully, with many missteps. And he don't sweat it. That's the trick of Kevin Feige, is when he completely goes off the rails, he don't sweat it. You can complain all you want about Thor: The Dark World or the Eternals. He says, no, that's part of the story. We'll get back to it. Don't worry.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
I'm just saying, this is the thing. That is what Warner's Disney needs to deal with the DC. And I don't think DC's in as bad a shape as everyone acts. I really don't. It's not. I mean, maybe it is. And again, I don't know behind the scenes. I'm talking about actual creative content produced. It's okay. It's and what I'll say is it's as good as anything Marvel puts out. You just have to be willing to not sweat when things go off the rails. My honest feeling is that actually this freaking Flash movie is somehow gold, and that's why they're putting up with all this nonsense, because they're like, this is not bad. But
might not even be getting the Aquaman movie, so
Well, did you see they pushed it back to December 2023?
We're not getting it.
So the only thing that's coming out from DC the rest of the year is Black Adam.
Black Adam, and we can't pin our hopes on that. I can't even get into that right now, but y'all will find out in about 3 months.
Well, I don't know. I don't see any reason to doubt Black Adam will be decent.
I'm not saying it's not going to be decent. I'm just saying that you can't bet on Dwayne Johnson for a sequel right now. So.
Well, no, but the fact of the matter is, you don't even necessarily need him for a sequel. You need him to establish lore and character. And if he steps out,
are we spinning a JSA off Black Adam?
No.
I was gonna say,
they're not even thinking about JSA. That's the problem.
That's gonna taint it. Okay.
Well, first of all, I don't know what they're thinking of, and they might be thinking of JSA. I don't know why they wouldn't. It's actually some classic characters.
They're a bunch of troglodytes who don't read the comics.
It's not even that, bro. They're just. I don't even want to talk about it. They're just a mess. They have no creative direction or vision at this point.
Alan Scott. That's all I want.
You already got one. For 10 seconds.
Well, supposedly they're working on a Green Lantern series for HBO Max, but
no, that's gone.
What do you think?
That's gone. Wrong producers, wrong people behind it.
Supposedly they were pushing the 2024, but
it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah. I mean,
it's gone. We'll be lucky to have Harley Quinn still there. So just.
Well, did you see the whole thing with that Batman Cape Crusader animated series they're working on? I guess they said it's not going on the HBO Max now, but if anyone wants to purchase it, they can throw it out.
They're purchasing a lot of stuff. And allegedly the Batgirl, they deleted everything. Okay, sure.
No. They've said they've been having funeral screenings for it. So, like, if you can go into.
They took it off the server. It's in the vault.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in the vault. And, and maybe it sucks. I don't know. That's the thing. Maybe it really did suck. That's a real possibility.
Well, they had the nerve to put out Wonder Woman too, so nothing is worse than that.
I know, and
Superman. Hey, we deserve the Batgirl movie. They made us suffer through a 4-hour Snyder cut. Come on. And again, it was only going to be the direct to HBO Max. I'm like, how,
Well, yeah, but there's the cost of residuals. That's the thing, is every time they show it, they have to pay the actors again. It's like everyone who says, oh, well, you got paid, what are you upset about? It's like, well, no, we got paid to make it. We were also supposed to be paid when they showed it. And that's a factor into the whole structure. Pay structures are like, they're like onions. They have a lot of layers. And when you go into something and you agree to do something, it's based on that presumption it's going to go somewhere else. And if you think it's not going to go somewhere else, then you ask for more money up front. But when you're saying, hey, it's Batgirl, what, you think we're just not going to release it? No, everyone says, okay, we'll put it on the back end because we'll assume we'll get it on the back end. And that works out good for everybody. And all
I know is DC's, Warner Brothers Studios is a scam artist right now. And they'll be having a documentary in about 3 years about this whole freaking era. So I'm just here until that happens.
They're just collecting the insurance right now, right?
Not even insurance. I don't know what they're doing.
For what it's worth, I mean, Warner's has a history of getting taken in. AOL, just saying.
Kenny parking.
I'm just gonna throw that.
I mean, if they actually would have done something with it, they're so dumb they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, well, they got
and
mad
that's why AOL is dead.
Well, actually, it's not. It's still.
It's only an email service. So.
Yeah, well, it's also a news service. They aggregate.
Like Bing is a search engine. Okay. Oh, technically it's true, but
Ask Jeeves.
Oh, F in the chat for Ash Jeeves. That was my jam.
I don't know, man. They all seem to work. But all that said, yeah, I mean, I don't know if this guy's going to be their Kevin Feige.
I don't think so.
Well, here's the thing. He can be their Kevin Feige if they let him be their Kevin Feige.
Gonna be our
and that's Feige. But that's the thing. It's like the whole thing that Kevin Feige did is he played the game, a very long game, through many owners and many situations, and then he delivered. And it became this reality that, once you actually could look at his career in aggregate, you could say, you know what, this guy actually does know what he's doing. Let's let him be our superheroic Walt Disney. We'll let him be the guy who's pulling the strings behind the thing. He's not doing a lot, but he's doing just enough to be the Stan Lee of movies. What Stan Lee does, it's always debatable, but the fact of the matter is that the stuff that he put his name on did a lot better than the stuff he didn't put his name on. So, call it what you will, but that's what a producer does. Finds the talent, puts them on the right product. Thank you. Welcome to my TED Talk. All right. Do we want to talk comic books this week?
I guess so.
I mean, unless someone else has more thoughts on this. I don't know. I'm trying.
No, I'm good, Lila.
I'm trying to fill the air, man. Because it was. Twas what it was.
Bill's Comics Corner.
All right. I know you didn't read a lot, Charlie Ussert, but you want to throw one out?
Well, I'm going to give my all-time indie pick of every week that it comes out is Department of Truth. Oh, it's a fantastic book, man. I don't know. Maybe, and again, it's just because, oh, wow, this is something that was written for Charlie Ussert, and so he's all into it. Because, oh, man, it is beautiful as they're dealing with the whole idea of, and honestly, for F's sake, the art is so perfect. Who does the art on this, man? Let's see here. Our artist is Martin Simmons, and man, can Martin draw a picture? And let's not forget who's his inker. Letters are by Adiata Bidker, designer, editor. Oh, we don't even get. Maybe he's doing his own inks. I don't know, but they're beautiful the whole way down. And effectively, what you have is the Black Hats are trying to recruit Cole's spouse, effectively. The guy that he lives with and loves. I don't know if they're married, and no judgment, just because you're together doesn't mean you have to be married, but they definitely seem to be in love, but, it's a very complex relationship. He's in the FBI. He works for the Washington Post, so it's difficult. And here's the thing. When the Black Hats are explaining to Cole's companion about what's going on, you know they're lying. You know they're telling their version of history, not what we've already seen reading the books. So it's a beautiful thing. And then of course you understand, if you're reading the books, that if their reality becomes truth, then it retroactively changes all of human history. And that is where you get the weight of what the Department of Truth does. And good guys, bad guys, basically, once you have atomic bombs and once you have the reality bending equivalent of an atomic bomb, which is the story and the narrative, suddenly, you have to figure out, how do we use this? You can't put the genie back in the bottle. Department of Truth, one of the best books ever. Highly recommend to everyone. Please buy Department of Truth. What books did you read?
It was a really, really bad week for the big two, but I'll start with DC and I'll talk about Tales of the Human Target by Tom King.
Ooh.
Yeah, it had a whole bunch of different artists on this one, because it's like supposed to be an anthology, but Tom King's like the main writer, pulling it all together. There's like 4 little mysteries and they all connect. So it's like the day that Human Target died is what this anthology of stories is based around, and I find it pretty cool. Tom King, he didn't get to write a lot of detective work and mysteries, and he we won't talk about that, Phil, but yeah, so I think he's making up for it here, and I enjoyed it. It is a $5.99 book, just to be warned. That
It's a little
expected
thicker
nowadays.
Well, it's a little thicker too.
Yeah,
but no, I liked it. And how did you? How long did it take you to get the connection between all the stories? It's like, oh yeah, it's him.
Yeah.
So is the Human Target dead, or does he live on? Or do I have to buy the book?
Seeing how this is like not a one shot. And his previous book did pretty well, and they'll probably end up tying him to like something, either the JSA or Justice League when they get back.
Well, they took that break. What was it? That Tom King series is 12 issues. They stopped at 6. They threw this in the middle, and now, then they're going to start with 7 next month. So
yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of the Human Target. I don't know if I've ever understood the practicality of it.
Espionage. It's like Mission
Impossible.
I mean,
it had a hit show, so what do I know?
It did?
It had a hit
I thought
show.
both of those shows failed.
I don't know. Well, I heard you said you liked it, so I assumed that means it was a hit.
Oh no, I'm quirky. None of my shows last except for Supernatural.
Okay.
Oh well, Supernatural and How I Met Your Mother, but we all know how they both ended.
I mean, the whole thing with the Human Target, it's like a bodyguard just to the next degree. It's like, oh, someone's trying to kill me. Oh, pay me. I'll take your place. And
it's like if the Chameleon used his powers for good instead of evil.
Well, that's
exactly.
Or Zartan.
Well, that's like the one story in this book. Like, there's a writer who wants to fake his death so he can, live in anonymity and just write. So, yeah, he hires the Human Target to basically get assassinated and, pretend.
Who's this writer? J.K. Rowling? Because modern day writers could never afford the Human Target.
I know.
Although J.K. Rowling may want to.
She don't care. Say what you want about her. She don't care. She's still making Harry Potter money off that other stuff. Oh
yeah, no, she gets her money every day. I mean, that's the thing.
She lives in her little mansion at the end of a cold. She does not care. Clearly, and thank God she stayed off of Twitter and stopped tormenting the Harry Potter fandom. Thank God.
Well, I mean, she has
so
opinions.
Embarrassing.
Old people have opinions, Lilith, and sometimes we don't agree with old people opinions because not all old people are generous, kind-hearted spirits. It's nice when you find one, like myself, but I'm very old. I'm old enough to be your father. Exactly. Moving right along. Philip, do you have a book you'd like to tell us about that's wonderful?
Okay.
I don't know about wonderful if you're going to go where I think you're going.
There were some fantastic books.
Why did you want me to do an indie look? You know what?
Yeah, you know the book I'm talking about.
You know what? Lilith? You know what? I got screwed this week. I got scorched. but I did not get Gunslinger because the shipment was damaged of Gunslinger.
Thank God, it was an absolute poop show.
Really?
Poop show.
I mean, I'm sure I'll get it when the new but how do I put this family friendly? Suck my balls, UPS.
Yeah, your guy really needs to what did he do to UPS to make them that mad? Your guy
I don't know, man. They like drop kick his stuff. I don't know, but because he even said
you're supposed to tip your UPS guy like you tip your mailman. Just fun fact, why I never have an issue with my UPS guy or my Amazon guy. You gotta tip him like your mail person at the end of the year.
Well, like he said, all those Spawn books these days have like that cardstock cover. He says if they hadn't had the cardstock, it probably wouldn't have been as bad. But it bends up all the cardstock and stuff.
Poor guy. But yeah, the UPS did you a favor this week on Gunslinger. I don't know what happened. It was like a sudden drop in story quality. Just
Is it the same team?
Yeah, it's the same team.
What the heck happened?
The story just is garbage. It's boring. Okay. It's bland. It's drab.
Okay, so all right. Since Little Hellfire is about to go on sabbatical, and we won't get the Ultimate Spider Cast for a while. Did you read Amazing number 8?
I did. I'm still lukewarm about it. Like it's not firing up my engines.
Are you saying it's not amazing? It says it right on the box.
I wouldn't even say it was spectacular at this point.
Oh my goodness!
It was Web of.
Don't you dare besmirch Web of Spider-Man.
Tell me what.
I'm telling Ray, that's it, Phil.
I mean, they do.
I always liked Web of because that was the ones where he wore his black costume. That was when we would switch between the two, and like Web, but it was always when he was in the black costume was Web of. So,
but no, I mean, this one they finish up that fight with Vulture and
finally, grinds his bones into dust.
And again,
how is that guy still alive?
Zeb Wells, bless his heart.
Someone just write the quick explanation of that power pack he wears for his wings keeps him young or something. They got to write something.
I mean, they've done that before, yeah. I mean, that's totally his whole thing.
Well, even in the
I don't care about the X-Men crossover, so this is why it definitely falls flat for me.
That's the thing. The next 2 issues, next issue is going to be crossing over with X-Men because Wolverine's showing up, and then in 2 issues, it's going to be that whole Avengers, X-Men, Eternals crossover. So, the next 2 issues is just going to yes.
They have an acronym, man. You gotta love the acronyms.
But
that's how you know it's bad.
Lilith, what did you think of Norman's new status quo? Again, he's supposedly all nice now because Kindred
I can't believe it for a second. Like, do you think I'm two? Do you think I'm stupid?
Now
you think I don't believe it? Oh my God!
Now he's building a suit and weapons for Spider-Man, and now Peter has a job.
Watch out! You might get a glider to the chest, Pete. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So Peter gets a job. Guess what?
Because this is better than him having Spider Industries.
I told you.
To be fair, Norman is something of a scientist himself.
Allegedly.
The movie tells us. No, I told
think he's Elon Musk. He just steals ideas and puts his name on it.
Oh!
The American way, just as
I was gonna say the South African way, definitely.
Well,
that's just stealing rocks from people.
Is he impregnating many women? What?
What? I mean,
well, actually, isn't it now retcon that he didn't even do all that? That was
not with Glenn. He did it. Yeah, no, that was just a sick old man's fantasy that Kindred put in his head. Yeah, but.
Boo! Don't you backtrack.
I said with this good Norman, I'm wondering if they're going to do that classic Stan Lee route where Norman's okay most of the time, but then he has like that
wakes up in blood
personality. The Goblin comes out, then it's like I don't remember what the Goblin did. Is that going to be like that?
That's
well,
where
to be
we're
fair,
going.
they've been doing that for a while. They did that. I mean, that was the whole thing in Siege when Loki was, pulling the strings with his madness. If he takes his pills, he's fine. He just needs to take his freaking meds.
But it's like when you take your pills and you feel fine, then you feel like you don't have to take your pills because you feel fine. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, but at that point, he wasn't really innocent either. He was either an a-hole or like a crazy a-hole, if he didn't take his pills.
No, it's fine to be an a-hole in business and politics, Phil, but you can't be a crazy a-hole. You can't go and lay siege to Asgard just because you're the head of Scammer.
Just bury all them secrets in your basement and give tours. Dumbass.
I'm just saying, it's like, what are you trying to do here? It's like, it's not cost effective to pick a fight with Asgard just because they're in Montana,
Bunch of angry immortal drunks, I know.
Exactly, and they're all itching for a fight, It's like it's
like a drunken bar brawl. I told you that whole Thor Hulk fight. It was like, or no, which one was that? You punched my son in the face. Oh, was that the our 1969 issues? Who was it? Was it Pluto? Yeah, he was like,
Oh, Pluto, yeah. I read a recent idea that, like, the way that we interpret gods as jerks and such, it's actually missing the point that, of course, Hades steals a young mother's child from her arms because that's what death does. And it's like, you don't have to put it into context. You just have to understand that nature is a real jerk and a horrible person, and that's why all the gods were real jerks and horrible people, because they were nature, and nature is bad, and they're always besetting us with plagues and famines and poison monkeys. And now that Mother Nature is starting to lose, she gets all weepy, but I say hard cheese, my friends.
Whoa, language.
At least the other Spider-Man book was good.
Wait, which Spider-Man book was good?
Miles Morales. They actually ended the arc, so thank God that's over. That's the only nice thing I can say. And we have hope for the future again, finally.
Now that he's not traveling.
But yeah, exactly.
So is Miles joining the Defenders?
I don't know why I was seeing the Defenders.
What have you heard?
Well, in ad space, in the Defenders book, I believe there is, unless I saw it somewhere else in another book. But it was effectively but it was basically 3 Miles cards as Arcana in the standard Defenders model that they've been doing lately. It's actually in another book. What other book did I read? Was it Fantastic Four this week? It was Damage Control. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So you have in this the Arcana of Miles Morales. And this is Morales Spider-Man 42, and you have the Lovers, the Star, and Strength.
Maybe Luke Cage told them they were paying.
They do pay, Not for nothing.
Saw that ad.
Steven has some good investments. So
touche.
I don't know if that's an ad for Miles's book, because look, for the next issue they have the card. Maybe
it's just a crossover.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm wondering: is he crossing over with the Defenders? Because that's been the Defenders' shtick lately, is the Arcana and the Tarot, and so I read Tarot, so that's fun for me. It's like, oh yes, I remember. I know what all those cards mean. No, I don't. But so my method of reading the Tarot is far more freestyle and interpretive of the imagery, more like Rorschach tests. But anyway, we're right along.
Lilith, I don't even want to mention I don't want to talk about the issue, but are they like punking I Am Batman with this cover?
Naturally. Although we've had something similar like that with a Robin book too, so
yeah.
So maybe they're just trying to cash in on nostalgia.
I think it's the last issue too, because I think it's running into Batman vs. Robin coming soon, which will
they're
feature
the return. Remind us.
Which will feature the return of Alfred Pennyworth.
Finally,
way too long. Again?
Well, I guess he's about to not be.
Good old Lazarus tea pit water.
Hey, the last time he got kidnapped and they put him in a weight loss program.
He's like,
that
you
was
did
great.
what with my money?
Gonna knock on that front door. Gonna knock on that front door and say, "There's always room for macaroni."
Shout out to Harley Quinn for having a whole Joker episode without her.
She was at the very end.
I know.
Did anyone see the last 2 episodes of Harley Quinn?
Yeah, I'm caught up. Yeah.
Isn't it weird that Joker runs for mayor in an episode? And I mean, maybe I missed it. Maybe the continuity is weird, but they're all worried about Frank, but then they just go to New Orleans instead.
They went to New Orleans to find Swamp Thing to go into the green to try to find Frank.
Well, yeah, I understand that concept, but it just seemed it seemed they came. It didn't seem they were very mission focused. That's my point.
Are they ever?
Well, Nora Freeze had to get her drunk on.
Yeah, although I will say this. Okay, so I'm throwing this out there. The Bruce Wayne and Tristan pointed this out. The Bruce Wayne we see with Frank isn't the Bruce Wayne we see in the movie or in the story. Because we see that Bruce Wayne is all obsessed with Selena and he's letting his hair grow and his beard grow. He's playing guitar and he's being all emo. But the person we see interrogating Frank don't look like that. So that's actually somebody else.
Oh no, it's Tommy Elliott.
I don't know who it is.
No hush storylines in Harley Quinn. We don't need it.
It's someone who is presenting themselves to be Bruce Wayne. I don't think Bruce Wayne.
No,
honestly, it would help him get into the character of being Thomas Wayne. Because he is Billy Bob Thornton, who is playing Thomas Wayne. Oh, God. But he said he was going to a charity.
That's everybody's cover story.
Yeah, for real. So maybe he's getting a little too deep into character here. And he would be someone who would have access to Frank. So, you know what? I think we may have uncovered the big twist in Harley Quinn season, whatever it is. But, yeah. Anyway, do you want any more comics?
I know you didn't read it, Charlie Esser. You said you didn't read it this time. But, Lilith, do you read Radiant Black?
I did. I'm still enjoying it.
Number 17.
Yeah. I kind of want more of I was expecting by now to have more of a big team up thrash on, just knock down dragouts. It's definitely a slow burn still for me.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, what did you think of that ending?
It's an ending
with the power. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's telegraphed, but it's fine. I mean, these books aren't supposed to be mind blowing mysteries or you know what I mean.
What was that? The other one's this isn't supposed to happen.
I would hope not.
We've altered the future in a comic book. Get out of here.
Again, it's classic. It's classic. Yeah, we're gonna muck about in time.
Gotta get back in time.
Morty, it's your kids. They're out of control.
Morty, it's DC. You got to do something. They're a bunch. What are they? A bunch of a-holes? Yes.
Well, there's the theory that the whole reason he goes back in time was expressly because he had to do the journey. Because if he just told him what the problem was, Marty wouldn't have accepted it. But if he just said, "Listen, you're going to get into, someone's going to call you chicken. It's going to freak you out, and it's going to cause your entire life to go into a tailspin,
and your son's gonna get arrested.
So grow up and be a better person.
And your daughter's gonna look just like you.
Marty. Yeah,
well, you have a dad like Marty had. Just saying.
To be
That's
fair,
a whole nother next anniversary we can talk about.
Hey, you get your damn hands off her.
I've got several generations of family. I see nieces and nephews that look like their opposite gendered parents. So it happens. There's nothing wrong with it. And honestly, Michael J. Fox was a very beautiful man. and made a very beautiful woman. So don't throw that.
No, that's not what we were talking about at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're saying that Michael J. Fox played his daughter in the.
Well, I said that.
sequel.
No, I was talking about Marty's dad, actually. Why he would have been scared to be called Chick, that whole thing, but.
Darth Vader came down from planet Vulcan.
Yeah.
Oh well, he was just. I mean, that's a whole other thing. That's just normal.
Well, he's just a peeping Tom.
Yeah, he was a peeping Tom too. Which is
Yeah.
actually pretty creepy.
But
I mean,
for
really,
the time, it was fine.
I
Because
don't think
Porky
it
said
was.
so. Because Porky said so.
1950s. We didn't have nothing else to do.
You know that
They
people
weren't teaching
did
sex ed.
That people did things didn't make it right.
We know
And
there
to be
was sex ed.
fair, there were freaking laws against it. So
Boys
it's like,
will be boys. Give me a break.
Jim.
Give me a break.
no.
Put that on the list.
Anyway, moving right along. Yeah.
Anything else, children?
Oh, I will shout out Public Domain number 3, as always. Chip Zdarsky, writer and artist, just sticking it to the comic book industry, one laugh at a time, one self-insert character at a time.
Oh, please. Like, I got Batman. I got Daredevil. Come at me, bro.
Exactly. And then it's like, oh, they have a new fan favorite character. And I'm just like, oh, that's great. And it's a woman. Nice. So we get to, we get that take on it. So I am enjoying it. I think it's my favorite book right now, honestly. And I just hope Chip gets to do more stuff that's not so mainstream so he can speak more freely.
Chip, come on. Chip, come here. You can speak your truth.
Yeah, you
here.
don't even have to talk about the other stuff. Just talk about Public Domain.
Speak your truth here, sir.
Do you want me to throw a book? Because I have another show to do, so I don't have to.
I'm gonna say no. We can end it if you want.
Yeah,
that's
I got
definitely.
Defenders and Fantastic Four and Damage Control, so we can jam those into an Avengers broadcast.
Yeah.
Because everyone in them has been on the Avengers, so because the Avengers has everybody,
Ah,
including Moon Knight and Quicksilver. So
burn. Oh, Genis-Vell, Captain Marvel #2.
I was
Picking up-
waiting for it.
It seems Peter David's finally going to pay off of the whole thing. Hey, why is Death obsessed with Marlowe? Seems like we're about to get that.
Good to see he's having fun.
Because even Death loves a redhead, right, love?
Exactly. See, he knows what's up. He knows.
I will never accept Death until they stop making Death a lady, and make it an ad salesman from Illinois, or Crackers the Clown.
How dare you tell Death how to identify?
I'm gonna tell writers, Death doesn't always have to be a sexy lady, man. That may be cool for you as a writer. But
Why does Death have to be binary, Charlie Esser?
That's actually that is literally my point, Philip. Is like I want a Death that actually explores their very long and storied history.
Just
Death
give me
is
Death as
better
an
than
NB. I'm good.
I mean, Death is beyond all of it. So that's the point. It's like, why are we so worried about
Death is a gaseous cloud. Okay,
I
it's
would
Galactus' cousin.
Well, I was going to think the person that Zephram Cochrane married, but
Nice.
deep dive. That's a real deep dive. Zephram Cochrane married a gaseous cloud, but they were happy. So it's like.
I mean, you're always happy when you talk about the after part,
Well,
Well, what?
That's happily ever after, and in the aggregate, they did okay, Zephram got to live, I guess, pretty much forever. And it's like, okay, well, me and the missus is a gaseous cloud. That's cool. And I, eventually say, let's travel a bit, and it gets we have our awkwardnesses, but good old Zephram Cochrane. I miss him.
They're leaving.
On that note.
On that note.
Pass Pack your bags,
Watch
kids.
Lower Decks.
Vengeance
Watch
is going
Lower
on a
Decks.
vacation.
There's a lot of shout outs to Zephyr Cochran in Lower Decks this season, or this episode.
All right. Let's get out of here. But before we do, I just want to throw out there, yes, Lilith Hellfire was leaving for the month of September. So what do Charlie Esser and I have cooked up?
Oh, Lord. I don't even want to know. I have to disavow knowledge.
We're going to be doing specials all month on characters who have anniversaries this month or this year. So where's my schedule? I'm pretty sure I remember.
Besides Spider-Man, who else?
I think our first one is that dropout Dr. Doom.
Yes, Dr. Doom. This year's Dr. Doom's 60th, so we will cover some issues handpicked by Charles Esser himself.
That man's a menace.
A threat. And then in 2 weeks, we will cover. It's Ghost Rider's 50th, so we will cover some Johnny Blaze's original issues, handpicked by moi.
Yes. Maybe we'll meet Jesus. Wouldn't that be nice?
Not in these ones, kid.
Dang it.
And then in 3 weeks, we'll be doing Monica Rambeau because it is her 40th anniversary.
And she's coming to Marvel under the assumed name Photon, probably, but that's not one of
She's
it.
gonna punch
Spectrum
people,
or
man.
Photon. Yep.
She's more powerful than all of them put together. You watch.
And then the last week of September, which Lilith Hellfire will definitely disavow this, it is the 25th anniversary of the Thunderbolts, kids.
Yay! Can we do the Mr. Hyde Thunderbolts? That was my favorite incarnation.
Shouldn't we do it's the 25th anniversary for
I know
1997.
we're supposed to do the Zemo ones. Zemo. We get it. You think you're smart.
See how this going.
Yeah, I mean, no, for real, Zemo, it's like, okay, yeah. You and your masters of evil. They don't master much, do they, friend? I don't know. You
Master Bait! Hello! Sorry.
For real, you know.
Once again, prison. There's not a lot to do, Lilith. Come on.
There's there's the yard.
Hell.
Honestly, my hope of hopes when they do Thunderbolts, that they completely C-block Zemo. He doesn't even get to play.
Wow!
No, dude, I know you think you're a prince or some nonsense, but, dude, you're in jail. You get to stay in jail. You have no superpowers. There's nothing you bring to the team. We are leaving you here. We don't want
You're basic.
Yeah, basic. I want them to do like they did with Tony Stark.
All right.
Where it's like, you know what? Maybe we'll let you be an advisor.
All right.
You don't get to play.
Damn it.
You don't get to
Damn
be
it.
part of
I'm
the
in.
team.
I'm in, and I'll give you the perfect scenario. John Walker shows up to recruit some people out of that prison. Zemo thinks he's in. John Walker just punches him in the face.
Oh, yeah. Because you should always punch a Nazi.
Exactly.
And
give him some Captain America.
It's the least John Walker could do.
Exactly.
that's the thing. Honestly.
Oh, no. Either if it's not him, maybe Val punches him in the face. Give him the old Elaine Bennis. Just ask Frank Costanza.
You know, I would love that.
I'm gonna drop you like a bag of dirt.
And I know it's just like my own nerd thing, but I just so want Val to meet Phil. And I mean, I'd like for Val to meet Phil, but I mean, like Phil Coulson. And it would just make me. And just that they had a relationship that didn't work out. It's like, oh, are you still seeing this cellist? Like, actually, me and the cellist, we're not together anymore.
Actually, I'm dating another girl named Val right now. She kind of reminds me of you, but younger.
To be fair, now he's a robot. So it's like, I know we have issues. I just want you to know I'm not the same man.
No, you know who he is vowed to bring into the MCU? Jason Alexander.
Oh, well, they will. I'm sure. It's all connected. They're all friends, Michael Richards may be persona non grata, but Jason Alexander has kept his slate clean.
Jason Alexander does whatever he did.
He's like, I'm just here. I'm just glad to be working. I'm a middle-aged bald guy. It's like, Thank you. I have work. Why would I complain? And I get to have really great roles when I get to play a role, you know?
As Jerry Seinfeld's wiping his ass with $100 bills.
Well, he earned that by kicking good old. Never mind.
Wow!
Whatever he did. I don't worry about Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld's
He's
doing
just
okay.
fine.
If Jerry Seinfeld wanted to work, he'd work. Because he did that. Is at one point he decided to go back to stand up, and they said, "Oh wait, this is hard work. I don't want to do hard work.
I got a hot wife at home. What am I doing?"
And again, just the residuals from that show. He's
Exactly.
he's tripping over money. Yeah.
Yeah. He does cameos. Like every so often, Larry David said, "Could you do a cameo? Could you just shake your head at me and then leave the auditorium? That would be great." And they do that. And hey, Larry David's getting another season, so good for Larry David.
The real George Costanza.
So he says.
The real George Costanza core. All right. All right. We done?
Yeah,
I guess.
I was doing plugs for what we're doing next few weeks. All of a sudden, we're down a Seinfeld rabbit hole.
It's always a Seinfeld rabbit hole.
Rope us in, Gelman. Come on.
All right, Kathy Lee. All right, yes, kids.
I wish.
If you want to discuss all the latest news and comics, or send in your thoughts for those upcoming characters, Doctor Doom, Ghost Rider, Monica Rambeau, or the Thunderbolts, email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Find links to all the various social medias for all the Marvel and DC shows we do. Link to the YouTube channel. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's completely free. Everything we do gets a video, so smash that subscribe button so you don't miss a second of it.
Smash it.
That's how Lil's going to keep an eye on us. And, and most importantly, please, if you can, subscribe to the Patreon. Again, every little bit helps. We're paying for this on our own, but $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats. And again, yes, this upcoming episode will be a twofer.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And because Little Hellfire loves torture, superhero movie brackets, we will find the worst.
The one thing I can do before I leave to just twist the knife.
Topless movie reviews, people.
We won't say who, but I think you know. I think you kind of know who's doing the topless movie reviews, kids.
Will, you're up at that.
Oh.
The knockers are fully frosted.
So get all that, and of course, Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merchandise.
Because it's nobody's business what's in your cup.
Keeps your drink cold all night.
Hold it, Dwight Schrute. You will buy Capes and Lunatics merchandise. Say it on 3, 2, 1. Say it. So find it all.
You will buy Capes and Lunatics merchandise.
Well, I already got you, sucker.
I already bought it.
I know. As I said, I already got you. Capes. Find it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And speaking of hypnotizing men into doing her will, Lilith Hellfire, where can people get a hold of you?
Oh my, the pressure is on. I got the vapors. If you nerds want to hang out with me when I get back on the interwebs, find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire and on TikTok at Lilith Hellfire69, making all of the comments and none of the content. Instagram is dead. Don't ask me about it. Ask your mama about it.
Wow.
Either do the 6 or do the 9. Spread them out. Come. Let me get a ride on your alligator back, bro. Somebody's muffin's getting buttered. That ain't my business. Somebody was trying to sneak it in.
Charlie Esser.
Well, they can always write to me in the old-fashioned email way, the way our mothers and fathers once did. At superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And follow me on the Twitter as a live tweet. Things where I feel like I like Stargirl if it ever comes back.
Wednesday.
At Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. ESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing.
Did you hear me? Stargirl starts Wednesday.
Yes, I heard you.
Okay.
So now I know it's Wednesday.
The 31st.
I don't keep a calendar in front of my face all the time of when things start. I just go in every morning and I look. Is it on this today? No, it's not on today. Is it on today? No, it's not on today. I don't know. I don't know when the great gods of media give me things. I just wait for it. And I'm so excited.
So, kids, for another week, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics.
If only I had a device in my pocket where I could put these dates in.
Leave
TV
him
time.
alone. He's an old man. He just wants to click it on, and if it's on, it's on. If
Get
not,
off my
there's always
digital
something
lawn.
You know, man, I will say this. My phone is so old, it does not read QR codes. I got like the generation before QR codes came in. And like my phone is like, I don't know what that is, man. I don't know what you're showing
Well,
me.
September's always a great time to buy a new iPhone.